And when I heard she took off yesterday and she took off the day before and she's going to take off tomorrow or the next day, I haven't taken a day off in 56 days. That's a long time.
Wow, he works so hard. He's a cool guy, you know, he works very hard. The people know that. 56 days of hard work. Wow. Anyway, we're going to continue to watch this play out. It gets to Hillary. Like, the conversation gets to Hillary because he likes to meander in his conversational topics. And so that's what we are going to see. I dare you to complain in the comments about the interruptions. I
haven't taken one day off. I don't want to play golf. This is too exciting. Golf is great, but this is too exciting. This is more exciting than anything you can do. And
also, it's the home stretch.
You see, guys, he's special. He's giving up golf to run for president. And that's a big deal. There's plenty of billionaires that would just play golf instead.
It's the home stretch. Who would take a day off? So we have 11 days left now.
11 days to the end times. Actually, sooner than that at the time that I'm recording this. Very cool. Great stuff.
And think of it. So I think I've gone 54, 55 days in a row. No days off. And I make speeches oftentimes, sometimes not, but I make speeches. And when you make a speech, and my speeches last a long time because of the weave, I weave stories into it. And if you just read a teleprompter, nobody's going to be very exciting. You got to weave it out.
Wow, he knows how to make speeches exciting and interesting by weaving in stories. I wonder if Joe is going to do the thing that he always does, where he says that what Trump does is like stand-up. But I think we're going to skip a little bit further down because it's getting kind of boring.
It's a lot easier if you're a Democrat. If I were a Democrat,
you'd get a lot of positive press.
I would get a lot of positive press.
No, it's a creepy, corrupt business, and the media, to a large extent, acts as a propaganda arm for the Democratic Party.
It's not.
This, I don't know. There's like a lot of glazing, a lot of Republican glazing by Joe, in this whole thing. Because I know for a fact that there's plenty of conservative media because Fox News is huge, Newsmax is huge, CNN now has a lot of conservative shit. And on top of that, Joe Rogan himself is a part of the media as well.
It's not even believable.
Yeah, it's bizarre to watch, and most young people I think are aware of it. I think most boomers still, unfortunately, read the newspapers and believe in CNN.
But it's getting younger. Let me tell you, it's getting for us, for a conservative.
Yes.
And I consider myself a person.
It's the internet. It's because the internet's giving people information that they're not getting from anywhere else.
Oh wow, now he's self-glazing. Because he's on the internet and he's like, oh, the internet is really good.
And they like the Very Fine People hoax, the Russiagate hoax, all these different things that they've done, they tried to pin on you. That's like, it's a clear distortion of what you actually said.
The bloodbath hoax.
Yeah.
I was talking about the auto industry.
Yes. But both parties do the same thing where they try to make the other party seem bad. And that's been true forever. I think it was John Adams and Thomas Jefferson who actually in the press were trying to run stories about like the other one being like gay or hermaphrodite and all this other shit. There's nothing unique or interesting about the situation at all. Or unfair.
It's a bloodbath because Japan and China are taking our auto. And I said, it's a bloodbath. They said, he used the word bloodbath.
He said, if you don't win, it's going to be a bloodbath because they're going to take over. That's exactly what you said.
It's a terrible thing they do.
But that's the problem with propagandists because they take things out of context and ultimately what they do is they diminish their own credibility because people don't want to listen to them anymore because they see that they've done that and they recognize what's going on and they feel insulted. Their intelligence is
Wow, this is great. This is some middle school level insight into the world of advertising and politics and shit. I am now going to play something that will actually expose people to some kind of intelligent thought.
When we were kids, there was a strange house. All the shades were always drawn, and we never heard voices in there. And the yard was full of bamboo, and we liked to play in the bamboo, pretend we were Tarzan, although there was no Jane.
Alright, so this is a little animated version of a story written by Charles Bukowski. He was a great writer, and we'll get back to it. But first, I guess we'll continue with the Trump clips.
Look at the ratings.
Yes.
You know, shows like yours. So I have a son who's very smart and tall, Barron, right? And he knows all about you. He knows about guys I never heard of. He said, Dad, you don't know how big they are. They're big. You know, he told me how big. I said, who the hell is he? Like Ross. I did. He said, Dad, he's a great guy. I mean, guys that are doing... It's a whole new world out there.
It's a different world. And
but, you know, I'm on TikTok now.
Congratulations.
And I've done really well. No, but you know the crazy... Have you seen the numbers? Billions of hits. It's crazy.
I'm sure. TikTok's a wild application,
And I've gone up...
It's so weird. He has made a big internet effort, and it's weird to imagine him at, like, the age of, what is he, 80? He's 80, and him having a son... that's like 19 or whatever. It's been kind of funny to watch this election cycle. And I would say he has used the internet a lot better than Kamala. So that's been interesting to watch this election cycle. It's a different kind of a strategy with the new age.
30 points. A Republican is always down 30 with young people. I'm plus 30. And I'm on TikTok.
I think
it's had a huge impact.
Young people are rejecting a lot of this woke bullshit.
Yeah,
young people
they are
tired of being yelled at and scolded. They're tired of these people that they think are mentally ill telling them what the moral standards of society should be today. And people,
dude, I think he's talking about young guys, because I would say young women are definitely still left-leaning. And guys have always been more right-leaning, so I think he's kind of like up his own ass. But I don't think anything has really changed that way, but whatever.
people are upset.
There's a big difference now, but even in just a couple of years, I was shaking hands with people. They're young people.
The rebels are Republicans now. They're like, you want to be a rebel, you want to be punk rock, you want to buck the system. You're a conservative now. That's how crazy. And then the liberals are now pro silencing criticism. They're pro censorship online. They're talking about regulating free speech.
I mean, sometimes I feel like that, but then I see people like Tucker Carlson, who is very much involved with like the Trump campaign and the Republican Party. And he likes the way Russia does things, and then during his speeches he says the government should be like dad and really straighten people out and tell them what to do. And it's like, whoa, dude, I don't really want that kind of I don't want to be told what to do, really, to be honest. So I think Joe is kind of up his ass with this one again. He's saying Republicans are rebellious the same way he thinks that comedians are philosophers.
And that regulating the First Amendment, it's bananas to watch.
Joe, they come after their political opponent.
Well, they
I
do.
got more guys. I always say, I kid, but I'm not kidding. I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. He was the meanest of them all. He'd kill you in 2 seconds if he didn't like you, right?
I mean, it's an interesting point. I don't know. I don't really think it's a concentrated effort, but I think it's a lot of people think that they can get more press, and they do if they charge Trump with shit. But then also he does skirt the law all the time, and he has skirted the law throughout his entire life. He does getting close to jail. But he's always been in lawsuits his entire life. He's probably paid lawyers so much money over his life. But I don't really think anybody like is doing like a conscious like we need to try to like, well, I mean kind of, but like I don't think it's not like Russia where it's like Vlad literally says, oh, we're gonna arrest this guy. I think it's more like persecutors, like prosecuting attorneys and shit are like, oh, he actually did kind of break the law, because laws aren't set and clear. So it's like, yeah, he kind of broke the law here, so if I charge him, you know, I have enough evidence to charge him, and then also it might get me some good press. It's not like some like Putin authoritarian thing. Like, it has nothing to do with Biden being in the White House. I don't know. I'm trying to say it's not like as cool as the Trump campaign makes it out to be. Shit. There's a lot of nuance there, and the part of the nuance is that he does, I think, skirt the law.
I've been under investigation more than Alphonse Capone, only because it's political opponent stuff. And I've won. I won the big case in Florida. I'm winning the other stuff. You win, but you know what they did? They did something that's only done in third world countries. They came after their political opponent.
Yes.
I could have put crooked Hillary in jail.
Well, not only that, but they're weaponizing it by saying that that's what you're going to do once you get in office.
Isn't it great?
By ignore.
Everyone is really dumb, and everybody is like ignoring the truth. I don't know. It's just like everyone's playing games, including Joe and Trump. Like it's like if you know, you know. There's just nuances that aren't being they're being ignored. Yeah. Anyway, let's check out this Bukowski cartoon.
And there was a fish pond, a large one, full of the fattest goldfish you ever saw. And they were tame. They came to the surface of the water and took pieces of bread from our hands. Our parents had told us, never go near that house. So, of course, we went.
There was kind of a house like this next to my elementary school. It was like some homeless, like 20-year-old or some shit lived there. Maybe it was his grandma's house at one point, but you know, the guy was kind of edgy. I think he was a skater, and he smoked weed and stuff. Eventually the house got torn down. I don't know where the guy went.
We wondered if anybody lived there. Weeks went by, and we never saw anybody. Then, one day, we heard a voice from the house.
You goddamn whore.
It was a man's voice. Then the screen door of the house was flung open, and the man walked out. He was holding a fifth of whiskey in his right hand. He was about 30. He had a cigar in his mouth, needed a shave. His hair was wild and uncombed, and he was barefoot in undershirt and pants. But his eyes were bright. They blazed with brightness. And
God, the animation on this is so good.
they blazed with brightness. And he said,
Hey, little gentleman. Having a good time, I hope.
then he gave a little laugh and walked back into the house. We left, went back to my parents' yard, and thought about it. Our parents, we decided, had wanted us to stay away from there because they never wanted us to see a man like that, a strong, natural man with beautiful eyes. Our parents were ashamed that they were not like that man. That's why they wanted us to stay away.
Some people live like a fearful existence, and some people live like in a less fearful way. Those people, I mean, they can also seem like dirty, because they kind of are, but it's like dirty and real, And that's a lot of Bukowski's writing focuses on kind of a dirty and real existence, which I don't necessarily think is like far better, but a clean life in suburbia there's definitely some fakeness to that, and in ignoring of the fact that we're like animals and shit, you know, is a little bit of dishonesty. Not a little bit, there's kind of a lot of dishonesty in the clean suburban lifestyle.
But we went back to that house and the bamboo and the tame goldfish. We went back many times for many weeks, but we never saw or heard the man again. The shades were down as always, and it was quiet. Then one day, as we came back from school, we saw the house. It had burned down. There was nothing left, just a smoldering, twisted black foundation. And we went to the fish pond, and there was no water in it, and the fat orange goldfish were dead there, drying out.
That would suck to just see like dried out goldfish. Like, I don't know, just dead goldfish. I mean, that's not good. I once had to kill a fish, and I like tried to do it with a shovel, and I stabbed at it, and then it didn't die right away, and then I felt really bad. Anyways,
We went back to my parents' yard and talked about it, and decided that our parents had burned their house down, had killed them, had killed the goldfish, because it was all too beautiful. Even the bamboo forest had burned. They had been afraid of the man with the beautiful eyes. And we were afraid then that all through our lives, things like that would happen. That nobody wanted anybody to be strong and beautiful like that. That others would never allow it. And that many people would have to die.
well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed that whole thing. You know, if you made it this far into the video, then you should leave a comment so I know that anybody watched the whole thing. And at that point, you should also subscribe and like the video. And check out the link to shirts in my description. Thanks.